think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly, Eichelle. Let's go. I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly, Eichelle. Let's go.
Hey, everybody, let's go, let's go, let's go. Look at Charlene Carla tapping in. Greetings from Florida. Greetings to you, beautiful. Thank you for being here another night, and thank each and every one of you for being here for another episode of Talented Thursdays. Tonight, as I was putting this show together, you all, I just felt like blessed. You know that song that says, like, look where he brought me from? You know, God has brought me through so many things, and tonight is going to be good. So come on in. I hope you brought a friend. Go ahead and share, like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, wherever you may be listening from or watching. I'm so glad to have y'all here tonight. It's really a blessing week after week after week. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the power of no. If I was doing it, if I was preaching this word, it would be titled The Power of No, when rejection isn't the end, it's the edit. Somebody clap your hands out there. Somebody out there say amen, all right? So again, come on in. What have you all been up to? Go ahead and talk to me in the comments. You know that I talk back. Make sure that you're repping your city. Again, tonight you're hanging out with your girl, but we are going to be talking about positivity, uplifting, and the power of no. So let me just share with you that your girl's been busy, right? So I had House of Blues, the gospel brunch on Sunday with Patty Pennington. Shout out to Patty Pennington, Sharika Hall, and Denise sang background, Nisi sang background along with me, and as well as Sharon Smith, who hosted us. So that was a great event. And I got to go to, y'all see the sweatshirt? I got to go to NAB this week. And it was amazing. Now, listen, my week has been very busy, doing some work and trying to get things into alignment. But I pressed my way that day. I pressed my way because I wanted to see what NAB was about. I had a registration to go last year. I didn't make it. And this year, it was the last day, y'all. And I had to say, no matter what, I'm going. And I did just that. And it was awesome. First of all, it was hardly anyone there because they had pretty much flown out, right? Unless you were going to a workshop that day, most of the people had seen what they wanted to see. So I had a lot of one-on-ones with companies and people who produce instruments to be used for content creation and producing and all of those things. So I had a fantastic time. I just wanted to share with y'all, when I got there, they were getting ready to do a segment on hosting a show. And so I walked up and one of the guys asked me, what do you do? And I said, well, I host Talented Thursdays. I'm Kimberly Eichelle. He said, well, good. This is my area here and we do live shows. But Kimberly, since you host, how about you host this show for us? Y'all, at the drop of the hat, I was like, let's go. It was so much fun. And if you continue to watch and stay tuned in the next couple days, I'm going to drop the video because y'all, he gave me the video too. And then I met another gentleman. His name was Max. Max let me do another little segment, podcasting segment while I was there. So I'm like, look at me being blessed. I'll call them Eminem, Miguel, and Max. Shout out to y'all too. Thank you so much for your kindness and for teaching me some things. And hey, you all have some things that I need. With that being said, you all, earlier this week, I was reminded of a time where I failed during a big moment and I couldn't believe that I jacked it up. I jacked up what I thought was a huge opportunity. Has that happened to someone out there? Has that happened to anybody out there? Like you feel like you've had a moment, like this is my moment. I'm getting ready to break through. I've been waiting for this. I've been praying for this moment. And then you mess it up. That's what I did, y'all. So I shared the story on Talented Television. You all know Talented Television, where I started, let me see, 8 years ago now. But I shared this story 5 years ago on Talented Television, and I'm going to try to play a quick little clip for you in case you missed this story. Let me get set up here. Keep watching, y'all. All right, you see me there. Let me get this video going so y'all could see that I really blew it. She gave us some lines to read. And as I was reading the lines, she looked, and she was like, I like your comedic timing. Do you sing? And I was like, yeah, I do. So she said, can you sing for me later? So I told her yes, and so I was excited. On the inside, I was bubbling over. And I just knew that things were going to be well. Now, typically, I get a little nervous before singing, no matter what. Not that it comes out nervous, but I get little butterflies before I sing. But when it was time for me to sing for Miss Drummer, I didn't have any butterflies, not at all. So I knew that this was about to go well. So, we went through the workshop. It was a great workshop. I learned some things. I took a picture with her afterwards, things like that. And I was really excited about it. So we were off in a corner, and she asked me to sing. So I opened my mouth to sing, and I was like, bah. Y'all, I sounded like a billy goat. I promise you, a billy goat came up out of my throat. I don't know where he came from, how long he had been in there, but that billy goat came out, and I could not believe it. I had blown my biggest opportunity. So, of course, I get in the car. I called my mom. She was the first one I called. And I said, you will not believe what happened to me. And my mom's like, what? What happened? I'm like, I got to talk with Raven Drummer. And she asked me to sing. And when I sung, oh my God, I don't know what happened, Mom. I wasn't even nervous. There was no. Okay, y'all. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, so how embarrassing is that? So let me just back up a little bit. If you didn't know who I was talking about, I was speaking of none other than the Raven Drummer, who is the casting or one of the casting directors for Mr. Tyler Perry, right? So I've been dreaming of being part of, a Tyler Perry production since, he started. Once he started doing his plays and things like that, I'm like, I need to be there. I need to be there. So when Raven came to Las Vegas and she was teaching a class, of course, I had to be in the room. So again, she gave us some lines to read. I read my lines and, she liked what she saw, I guess. And she asked me if I could sing. I said, oh, this is my moment. This is my opportunity. This is it. And I told y'all, I don't know whose Billy Goat it was, but it came out my throat. Okay. My voice was shaking. It was cracking. And she said, "Oh, okay. Thank you." That was the end of our conversation. That was the end of our conversation. Y'all, I was embarrassed. I felt broken. I called my mama because I could not believe that that happened to me. How many of you have experienced a no, a no that almost broke you, right? Or that could even be breaking you right now? We're talking about it tonight. There's a moment after rejection that nobody really prepares you for. It's not just disappointing, it's disorientation. It's almost like, me? How did this happen? What did I do? But I prepared. But this is supposed to be my moment. But it's Tyler Perry. How will I ever get this close again? It's only 6 degrees of separation. She's right here. She chooses for him. And I still got, okay, thank you. We don't always get a do over, but a no is not your final destination. And I want you all to know that as well. You thought you were on the right path. You did the work, you showed up, and then no. Evangelist Hurdy Randolph is in the room, and she said, "A not now can be God's way of saying, wait, I know my plans for you." That's right. I just gave that scripture to someone else. Jeremiah, I believe it's 29:11, if I'm not mistaken. But God says, "I know the plans that I have for your life." You know, He knows the plans. He knows what he has in store for us. So again, we encouraging one another tonight, but we're going to have a good time because I'm going to share some things with you all. You showed up, you got the no. And if you are in your 30s or beyond, or even your 20s, but in those 30s and stuff, that no hits us different, right? In your 40s, in your 50s, that no hits different because it's like, I should have been further along than I am right now. Because now you're not just chasing a dream, you're balancing life, expectations, responsibilities, husband, children, for some grandchildren. You got a job that you're working, but you really don't want to be there anymore because you have a dream and you're trying to get to that dream and you still got to know. You start doing the math in your head like, do I still even have time? Do I still have time? Because I saw myself a long time ago where I was supposed to be. And I'm not there yet, God. Do I still have time? But tonight, let's make something straight, y'all. You do. You do still have time. We cannot let one no rewrite your entire story. Let's walk through some people tonight who experienced no and still became one of the best in their field. I believe by the end of the night, you'll never see no as, a horrible thing again. Because sometimes we hear no and it's like, it's over. But after tonight, you're not going to feel like that anymore. I pray that you don't. I pray that something that I say tonight, you will remember. So let's start. Let's start with none other than Miss Oprah Winfrey, who was told that she was unfit for television. I get it. I get it. Unfit for television, not inexperienced, not developing, unfit. That's a heavy word. Unfit wasn't really talking about her qualifications, right? It was attacking her identity and not just her skill. And I can put myself in a position like that because I'm a big girl. I know, little skinny girl. I'm not what America sees as, who's supposed to be on top. So they look at you sometimes and they say that you're unfit. But what made Oprah unfit for traditional news? Her emotions, her connection, her humanity, her look. Let's just be real. but it became the exact ingredients that made her undeniable. That was one of the things. You too sensitive, Oprah. You too sensitive. When you doing your stories, you're doing too much. You're connecting too much. You're letting your feelings show. And again, that's something that people tuned in for week after week. She didn't shrink to fit the mold, y'all. She expanded until the mold broke, till she broke the mold. Who has been like Oprah since, right? Up next, I want to talk about Steven Spielberg. You know him? I remember him from when I was a kid, like E.T. phone home. Steven Spielberg got rejected from film school multiple times, including three rejections, three, no, no, and no, three rejections from USC. Most people hear no once and pivot out of fear. Hmm. He heard it repeatedly and kept creating anyhow. He didn't wait for a classroom to validate him. He built his own experience. And eventually, the same world that said not yet had to acknowledge what he built without them. Steven Spielberg. You know what I'm saying? Still knocking down doors after no. Hey, hey, how are you, Kim? Good to see you, cousin. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Walt Disney. Now, this one, I'm like, excuse me? But Walt Disney, he was fired for lacking imagination. Disney, the greatest place on earth, as they call it. He was fired for lacking imagination and then watched his first animation studio collapse. That's not just rejection, that's failure with receipts, right? So he failed and it crashed. A lot of times that's what we're afraid of. That's what keeps us from moving forward. Because if I build it, if I do it, those who have been watching my life, if I do it, is it going to fail? Is it going to work? What happens if, what happens when? But that's not walking by faith. We have to walk by faith. And so, yeah, it may fall apart. But look at Disney today. Here's what's wild: imagination didn't leave him, vision did not leave him. He kept going long enough for the world to catch up to what he already saw. Sometimes y'all already got the vision. You already have the vision. You already have the words to say. You already have something that can change the world. And you let someone who comes in who may be a bigger figure or a bigger name and change your whole trajectory because they said you're not good enough. What did God say? What is God saying? Okay. Let's talk music because this Talented Thursdays. So we got to talk about music as well. We talk about all types of creatives, but let's talk about music. Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye created What's Going On. Y'all remember that? It was during war times and all that. Hmm. Things sometimes come full circle, right? And Marvin Gaye created What's Going On. It was a deeply personal, socially conscious album. And the response from his label was, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard." The song, y'all know what's going on. Mother, mother, there's so many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's so many of you dying. We've got to find a way to bring some love here today, right? To bring some loving, here today. That's one of the worst things you ever heard. That song is still, when it's played, it still pulls at your heartstrings. And Marvin is gone. But what if he let that stop him? Just imagine fighting your own team just to release your truth. But Marvin did not fold, he pushed back, and the album did not just succeed, it shifted culture. It expanded what R&B could say and what it could stand for and what it stands for today. You can tell your story now. You can tell your story today because of people like him. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team, y'all. Michael, as they call him, the GOAT, Jordan, number 23, right? He got cut from his high school team, not benched, not second string, cut. And instead of internalizing that I'm not good enough or I'm not enough or, maybe not this year or whatever the case is, he turned it into power. He turned it into fuel. He used that no and he practiced harder. He showed up earlier. He stayed later. And that same rejection became part of the foundation for one of the greatest careers in sports history. Somebody out there got a pair of Jordans on right now. I got a couple of pairs in my closet. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan. If he would have just quit because they said he wasn't good enough. Now let's go deeper because these next two stories hit in a real way for me, for sure. Jennifer Hudson, right? Seventh place on American Idol. Seventh place on American Idol. She didn't just lose, she lost publicly. Weekly judgment, national votes, and then eliminated before the finale. What's it like when you get a no in public? And I say that this hits different for me because in 2005, that was the last year that I could audition for American Idol. I remember I got up that morning. It was here in Las Vegas. I got dressed to go stand in this long line. My mom went with me because y'all know she's my biggest cheerleader. We stood in that line. We saw all types of people. And I got into that first little section and they had us lined up like cattle. Okay. There were tables all the way across the floor. So it was judge after judge after judge after judge after. It wasn't Paul and them and all of, you know what I'm saying? It was table after table after of the first. That's really the initial round. And I remember that I walked in there and I was confident. And it wasn't like the Billy Goat story. I sang. And as I sung, because there were lines that were next to me, they were kind of rocking and clapping with me. I sang Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. I ain't sang it since. But I sung that song that night or that day, excuse me, at the audition. And after I sung and people were clapping and cheering, the lady said, she held up her hand and she said, thank you. You're not what we are looking for this year. In front of thousands and thousands of people, hundreds, I don't know, y'all. I can't give you a number. But what I will say was it was in public. It was in front of everybody. So that could have stopped me. It didn't stop me, but it hurt. It hurt. So again, with Jennifer, weekly judgment, national votes, and then elimination before the finale. At that moment, the narrative could have been just like mine. She ain't the one. But here's what makes her story bigger than inspiration. It's transformation. Jennifer didn't just come back. She built a career so undeniable that she became an EGOT winner, right? An Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony. That is one of the rarest achievements in entertainment. So think about the distance between seventh place, between a no, and now she has almost every award in the industry. And again, I can relate to Jennifer because before Dreamgirls came out, I auditioned for that as well. And who got it? Jennifer. I got another no. But it's all right. I am here talking to y'all today because I believe that I'm doing what I am called to do. There is a place for each and every one of us. And I am proud of those people who pushed forward in the face of no. Are you one of those people? I need y'all to talk to me in these comments. It's just me and you, like Tony said. It's just me and you. I need y'all to talk to me. Tell me, what are some of the areas that you've been struggling with? What are some of the things that you have been through where you heard no and it could have stopped you or it could have crushed you? What are your dreams? What are your goals? Y'all know this show is about inspiring, it's about uplifting, it's about knowing that everybody has a story before they became the greatest, before they became the biggest. I'm sharing that with you tonight. So, Jennifer's Gap is filled with resilience, reinvention. And this is what we have to do. We have to refuse to let one platform define your ceiling. I refuse to let what one person say stop me from rising up. And I want you to do the same thing. Jennifer's story is proof that losing in one arena doesn't mean that you're not built for greatness. It might mean that your greatness needs a bigger stage. How about that? And then Amber Riley, right? Her story hits different because she didn't even get to go to the next level on American Idol. They told her no right away. Like, no. And you know what? Again, I identify with them because those girls look like me. Not same face, but they look like me. They were thick girls. They were black girl magic girls. And they got to know. So, how inspiring, even for me, to see that they were able to move forward in their careers, no matter what. Charlene Carla said, I got to know from a literary agent, but I was proud of myself for trying. That one answer does not change my journey. I love that. Y'all hear that? That one answer does not change my journey. That's right. Because you put yourself out there. And one thing that I have learned, you all, in receiving no's is that you grow. Next time I'm going to do this better. Next time I'm going to do this different. And that may not be the place for you. Like I just said, you may need a bigger stage. You may need a bigger spot for what God has put into you, right? Thank you for sharing that, Charlene. So again, with Amber Riley, she didn't get a spotlight moment on American Idol. And y'all, let's just be real. Being overlooked can feel worse sometimes than being rejected. I've been overlooked several times. If you all knew my story, it's a song that says, you don't know my story. You don't know my story, but y'all will know it one day. I have something special coming for you. Yeah, it's coming. I'll just put it that way. And you will get to know more about your girl, your friend, Kimberly Eichelle. It says, being overlooked makes you question if you were ever seen. But Amber, she stayed at it. She kept showing up. She kept auditioning. She kept refining her craft. I know Charlene has written so much stuff over there. As a matter of fact, I know that Charlene's writings are really together. I know her, and I know that she's an editor. So when she sent that book off, that book was together. Do y'all hear me? And you saw that she still got to know, but, she was proud of herself for trying. And that's what makes the difference. That's what helps you go. Evangelist Hardy Randolph said some of those no's can be in relationships, but thank God for the nonsense because someone better. Oh, thank God for the no, since because someone better is waiting for you. Let me read that again, you all. Some of those no's can be in relationships, but thank God for the no because someone better is waiting for you. That's right. Absolutely. It surely can be in relationships. I've experienced that too, honey. Still sometimes. And I'll be like, thank you, Lord. You know, when you thought that you really, really, that's it. That's the one. He it. And later on, you like, thank you, Jesus. That it did not work because you really get to see who those jokers are, right? So yeah. So with Amber, suddenly the same type of industry that passed on her, they began to watch her dominate scenes, right? Vocally, emotionally, excuse me, unapologetically. She did not shrink to be accepted. She expanded into her full self. She didn't shrink. She did not shrink. I remember one time, um, talking about singing and things, sometimes you get in a room full of singers that can run circles around you. They can scat, they can run, they can all of that. But sometimes God be like, just sing flat footed, honey, and give them a good old notes. Those are the things that we have to do. God has given each and every one of us something special. Even with podcasting, I'm not the only podcaster in the world. Have y'all seen how many podcasts are out there? But we're not all alike. We don't all bring the same spirit or character or words. Everybody has something to give. What is your something? Drop that in the comments. Tell me what your gift is. Drop your gift in the comment while you're watching, okay? So again, Amber did not shrink to be accepted. She expanded into her full self. And later, a Laurence Olivier Award, one of the highest honors in theater. So that's not overnight success. It don't happen overnight, y'all. That's quiet persistence paying off loudly. You got that no, but that persistence that's in you, that drive that's in you, that, hey, I know that I can do this. Hey, I know that I could do that job. I'm prepared. I've studied. I've done it for years. I deserve that promotion. And I'm going to get what I'm supposed to have because what God has for me, it is for who? It is for me. What God has for you, it is for you. So across gospel, R&B, films, sports, the pattern is the same. Rejection comes. Rejection shows up before recognition. Rejection shows up before recognition. So first you get that no. And then later it's like, excuse me, can I meet with you? How did you do? Oh, honey, it ain't always been easy. I done cried some tears. I got some no's. I got some doors slammed in my face. I had people laugh at me. I had people tell me that I couldn't do it. I had people tell me that I was just like my daddy. I had people tell me that I was just like my mama. I wasn't going to amount to nothing. All of that rejection before your recognition. Do y'all hear me? It's coming for you. I'm here to encourage you tonight that it's coming for you. I'm here solo dolo, but y'all here with me. Y'all my family, and I love to talk to you, and I love to hear your stories and your feedback because that means a lot to me as well. It lets me know, hey, that I'm on the right track and no turning back. Hiya. Okay. Charlene said, writing and editing are my main gifts. Yes, ma'am. Writing and editing. There's nothing like doing what you love. They say when you do what you love, that you would do it for free. And y'all, I done did that for years now. Do you hear me? Talented Television, Talented Thursdays, Again, it's been several years since 2018 for free because I love what I do, but it won't always be free. Not saying that y'all won't be able to tune in because I need y'all here. Y'all my family. But what I'm saying is there's sponsorships out there. There's hosting gigs out there. There are things that I know that God is calling me to out there. But if you love something, work on it. Singers, work on those voices. Writers, get them pens out. Get your laptop out. Screenwriters, playwrights, poets, musicians, learn your music. Singers, get on key, right? We got to be prepared because rejection shows up before recognition. Mahalia Jackson turned struggle into songs that moved a movement. Aretha Franklin demanded respect in rooms that didn't freely give it. Stevie Wonder redefined music while people underestimated him. A fun fact: many major breakthroughs in entertainment happen after years, sometimes even decades of being overlooked. The industry, for those of you who are here that want to be in the industry often rewards endurance and not just talent. Endurance. Can you go through something? Can we see some work that you've done? You want to be on the top of the mountain. I don't have anything before me that shows me what you're able to do. Can you show me a little something? What do you enjoy doing? Work on that. Evangelist Hardy Randolph, singing, creative writing, speaking, songwriting, and more. And more. Absolutely. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff right there. Yes, indeed. So, what do you do after the no? What's your real plan? Not surface level. This is how you actually keep going. Because that no hurts. I ain't gonna lie. I done got a no and got tears in my eyes. I told y'all I cried after my poor audition, impromptu audition. Honey, I cried. So it does hurt sometimes. But you got to acknowledge the feeling. That's number one. Rejection hurts, period. So, don't suppress it, but don't let it settle into you permanently either. My god brother often says, delayed is not denied. Delayed is not denied. Number two, don't personalize the moment. That no is about that opportunity, that specific opportunity, not about your whole future, right? It's just no to that. Okay, you didn't get it. That's fine. What's next? It just wasn't our moment, right? So what's next? Don't personalize it. Don't internalize it. Don't make it, no, I'm not good enough. I knew it. No. Acknowledge it and move forward. Three, stay in motion. Stay in motion. Momentum beats perfection. Do the next thing, and then the next thing, and then y'all know the story of the little ch, 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 ch. Y'all know I'm silly, but the little engine that could. That's who I'm. Oh, maybe the engine go like that. The little train wheels, right? I don't know, but anyhow, keep the momentum going. Move, move, keep moving towards your goal, and build in the meantime. This is where most people fall off. While you're waiting, again, sharpen your craft. Create your own platform. Hello, somebody. Welcome. Welcome. Nobody gave me the platform. I had to create it. Of course, I've had opportunities to do other things, but I'm talking about when it came to doing something like this, I had to create it. I don't know who it was, but I know there's a saying that says, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. So build your platform, create it, network intentionally, not just with everybody. Because some people just want to steal your ideas, and that's the truth. Some people just want to borrow something from you. Some people just want to get up under your sleeve so you could carry them with you. No, network intentionally, and especially after you've built your platform, because now, okay, you're moving a little different. Before, I didn't charge to, sit down and consult with you. Now there's a fee because you've done the work. And let me say, I've done the work as well. I've done the work. And so now consultation costs, right? Because I heard my friend say the other day, my sister friend, Denise and Sharika, time is money. Time is money. So network intentionally and study your field. Study it. Study the greats in your field. I love watching Tamron Hall. I love watching Oprah. I enjoy watching who else? Even Karamo. I love the way that he hosts his show. Sherry Shepherd. Oh, that's my girl. I'm like, that's my friend in my head. Y'all know how Wendy used to say that? That's my friend in my head. Sherry, I'm coming to see you too. So, girl, just shout out to you right now. I'll see you at the show. Okay. So, anyway, study your field. The meantime is where you become undeniable because you put in the work and then find the right rooms. Again, I went to NAB, right? I went because that's where those who are in broadcasting were. They had new tools for the things that I do. They had people for me to network with, all of those things. And so find the right room. Everybody won't see you clearly. Everybody won't acknowledge you. Even when I was walking through here, there were times where I turned. Y'all know I'm a friendly person. I'm saying hello to people they like, or they will hurry up and look away, or whatever the case is. So everybody is not going to acknowledge you, but somebody will. Hey, Max. Hey, Miguel. Thank you all. So that's what I want to, share with you all tonight. There's more. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Oh my goodness. My brother Eric is in the room. I'm so glad to see you, 40. Thank you for supporting your sister tonight. How many know how much it means to see your family, your loved ones? My mama come in week after week after week. Y'all know that. But my brother come in. He's silly, y'all. So I gotta stay focused because I'm sharing on tonight. I'm sharing tonight. That doesn't mean that you're invisible. When people don't see you, it means you're in the wrong space. So let's talk about going from rejection to royalty. Let's bring this all the way together, a full circle moment, because these two stories, aren't just inspiring, they actually help anchor everything that we've been talking about tonight. I see you, Eric. Yeah, they're going to help anchor everything that we've been talking about. So earlier, I mentioned Oprah Winfrey, right? So I'm coming back to her right now. So I remember being a little girl in Gary, Indiana, and there was a show called AM Chicago, which Oprah was the face of. AM Chicago. So growing up in Gary, my church was actually in Chicago, which was about, I want to say 30, 35 minutes away. I don't know. It's very close though. It's not far. And again, seeing Oprah on television and things like that, she was the face of AM Chicago for 2 years, I believe it was. So 2 years later, it was rebranded and nationally syndicated as the Oprah Winfrey Show. So it started out as AM Chicago. This is the lady that they said she was unfit for television. And 2 years later, after hosting this show, it's now nationally syndicated and under her name, The Oprah Winfrey Show. So my mom, who's in the room, y'all know, hey, Ma, again, she used to always say that she was going. This gonna make me cry, y'all. I'm gonna try not to cry. Okay, so my mom used to always say that she was going to the Oprah show. Now, mind you, there was a time where we were uh 30 minutes down the road from where, her studios and things were. But we left that area. We left the Midwest, but she didn't stop saying it. In the Pacific Northwest, she was still saying, I'm going to the Oprah show one day. Kim, I'm going to the Oprah show one day. Kim, I'm going to the Oprah show one day. And we left the Pacific Northwest, y'all. And she still didn't stop saying it. I'm going to the Oprah show one day. Now, one thing that I can tell you all about my mom is that she is a woman of faith. And what she speaks, it comes to pass. So again, she kept saying it, she kept saying it, she kept saying it. I'm like, uh-huh. You know how, with probably with Noah, how they kept saying it's gonna rain. He say it's gonna rain. Nobody listened to him. He probably has said it forever. It's gonna rain. That's how it was with her. I'm going to the Oprah show. I had heard it from the time I was a little kid. At this time, I'm an adult. But one day, my mother won 2 levels of a contest for Oprah. The first level that she won was Oprah's favorite things. This included things like a big plush robe, a subscription to O Magazine, some nice footies, a candle, a DVD collection of like however many years it was at that time. It was so many things that she received in this package. So, what a great gift. But winning that allowed her to be put into a bigger drawing to win the grand prize. And she won the grand prize. The lady that said, I'm going to Oprah one day. So she won that contest. And it took us from our home back to Chicago. We were picked up from the airport in a limousine and stayed at the Omni Hotel. This made 2 biblical lessons very clear to me, that there is life and death in our very own words, and what we speak shall surely come to pass. Another lesson I learned was on faith. My mom did not only speak her desire, but she believed it. She believed it. She had the faith. No matter, it doesn't matter that I left being down the street from Oprah. I'm still going to her show one day. She never stopped believing. So I got to travel with her. And we went to the Oprah Winfrey show. Now, mind you, this was after I had graduated from school where I took broadcast production. So I had met, celebrities along my journey in life. But Oprah was the first time I cried, y'all. Because again, I saw somebody that looked like me doing something that I love to do. So we got to the show, you know, and after the show, we got to even meet Oprah. We talked with her. We took a photo with her. We laughed with her. It was amazing. Y'all know that I often say that God makes my dreams come true, and He does just that. So I, again, got teary eyed during that time because, again, my dreams had come true. I felt blessed. It's a moment that I will never forget. And as my mom spoke that thing over and over for herself, I'm going, it was a blessing to me because here's a woman that I, was admiring. And it was like, oh my gosh, I got a chance to meet her too. Glory to God for sure, Charlene. Yes, indeed. As a young woman, again, Oprah was told that she was unfit for television, not polished enough, not detached from her feelings and emotions enough, not what the industry expected or desired, but what did the people say? More importantly, what did God say? When you hear no regarding what you've been called to do, whose voice will you believe? Is it the external voice that's telling you no? Or that internal voice that says that I can do it? And that higher voice that says, I've called you to do this? Who will you believe? And if Oprah had listened, if she had reshaped herself just to fit in that small moment, we may have never even known her name. We may have not known her name. People around the world would have never been able to be blessed by her voice and her generosity in places where it was desperately needed. There would be no school in Africa where the young ladies call her Mama Oprah. None of that would exist if she would have let no stop her. Instead of shrinking in that moment, she leaned into the very thing that they rejected. You too soft. I'm going to be softer. This is me. I'm going to be funny. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be whatever you're supposed to be that. The decision that Oprah made gave us the Oprah Winfrey Show, a show that didn't just dominate ratings for 25 years, it redefined connection. It made vulnerability powerful. Story after story, people felt seen and heard, but she didn't stop at hosting. Her dream was bigger. I have a friend, Barry, who does comedy, and I would talk about him like, Barry, you're doing so great. I've seen you do your shows. You've done, your own show, and now you're working with Tyler Perry and you're doing this. But Kim, I got bigger dreams. I still feel like, this is great, but there's even more to come. So y'all don't stop dreaming. She built on. She stepped into film with The Color Purple, earning an Academy Award nomination. She helped bring powerful stories like Selma and so many others to life. And the accolades that she got, the Jean Herschultz Humanitarian Award, the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement, multiple Daytime Emmy Awards, so many Emmy Awards that Oprah said, I'm going to step aside so somebody else can win. The person that they said was unfit was winning all the awards where she's like, okay, that's enough. Let me move out the way. So an up and coming person can win as well. The Presidential Medal of Freedom. She received a medal from the highest leader in the nation of where her rejection began, marking in history that she was truly someone special. Not you, you unfit. Don't speak that over my life. I reject that word. I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. Keep doing things according to what God has called you to do and let Him open the doors for you. So Oprah didn't just succeed, y'all. She became a standard. Now, right quick, Steven Spielberg rejected from film school multiple times. Imagine being told no by the very institutions designed to recognize talent in the field that you're called to. But he didn't wait to be accepted. He started anyway. And what came out of that persistence? Films like Jaws. Okay. E.T., found home. Storytelling that still resonates across generations. Jurassic Park, y'all know that was like groundbreaking, right? Schindler's List, a film that changed how history is told. Private Ryan, redefining realism in war films. And the recognition, Academy Awards for Best Director. He also got Best Picture for Schindler's List, multiple Golden Globe Awards, the AFI Life Achievement Award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom as well. Spielberg didn't just enter the industry, he helped shape it. Now, here's the moment that brings it full circle. This is the part that I was talking about, y'all. That's about to hit you, right? So, they met at the intersection of purpose, The Color Purple, directed by Steven Spielberg. No, 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 you're not good enough for school. Starring Oprah Winfrey as Sophia. Two people who were once told no, collaborating on a film that will become a cultural landmark. So let this land. Let this land. They didn't just overcome rejection individually. They stayed in the game long enough to refine their gifts, to build their credibility, and meet each other at a level where their impact multiplied. And that's what persistence does. It connects you to moments and people you couldn't have reached if you quit early. Don't quit. They were told no by people with authority and later honored by the highest authorities in their fields. So don't let a temporary opinion outrank your long term purpose. Because if you keep going, you won't just prove them wrong. You'll build something so real, you'll build something so undeniable that no won't even belong in your story anymore. So if you still here, if you still watching, I need you to say this out loud, wherever you are, unless you at work. But even then, say it under your breath, okay? Say this out loud. I will not let one no rewrite my destiny. I am still becoming. I am still building. And what's meant for me will recognize me when I arrive. What's meant for me will recognize me when I arrive. Every person we talked about tonight had a moment where the world said, this isn't for you. This ain't your gift. You ain't good enough. You, okay? This isn't for you. And every single one of them responded through action, not argument. Sometimes it's just being quiet in the stillness. You know how people be like, I'm minding the business that pays me. You just got to mind your business sometimes. Go ahead and keep working. They like, no, she this, he's that, he ain't good enough, she's not good enough. Oh, okay. Keep working. Respond through action and not argument. You don't have to argue the point. Just wait. So here's the question you need to sit with. What if this no is just buying you time to become who you need to be for the yes that actually matters? Don't quit in the meantime, y'all, because the story only works if you keep going. I started Talented Television back in 2018. And you've heard me say this a number of times. I sat on Talented Television. I had everything that I needed to get started, and I would not start because I wanted things to be just perfect. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect day. When God gives you the vision, move on it. So I started in 2018, and that is 8 years ago. The number 8 in biblically represents new beginnings And without realizing I'm in my 8th year, something new has truly been breaking forth. As a matter of fact, when I started it, it was also the 8th month. So this is my 8th year, the year of new beginnings, and I've been able to do some great things this year. My podcast is now on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. And I also, y'all ready? Took a leap of faith, a huge leap of faith, and started my own production company. I started it. No after no after no just helped me be positioned for what I'm called to do. I am not Oprah, but I'm exactly who God called me to be. And as I stand here on his word, you take a stand as well. And always remember that your gift that God gave you will make room for you. Y'all hear me? Your gift will make room for you. I'll see you next week, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern for Talented Thursdays. I love y'all. God bless. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Please support by subscribing to Talented Television on YouTube.